Celebrating 25 years of marriage is something very special, something that a lot of us never get to do. But our winner today of Makeover Mondays is a mom, and she's a wife. 25 years she's been married to the same man, and this year they celebrate that anniversary. We've decided to choose our winner this week for Makeover Mondays. Her name is Lynn, and her YouTube name is Tech for Brooks. But before we start, I wanted to show you something that I got yesterday that I think is so cute. This new bracelet. It actually comes in two separate pieces, and this right here is a porcupine quill. Isn't that amazing? And then it has this like chain that attaches to the lower one. I'd never seen anything like it. I was shopping out with my daughter and I thought, that is so cute. And I thought you guys would appreciate it. So leave me a comment below and let me know, do you like my new bracelet? I think that is so cute.
Let's take a look at the before pictures for Lynn. Clearly, Lynn has a very beautiful bedroom. It's a lot nicer than most of the rooms that I open up the pictures to, and it's quite large, which is nice. But let's talk about some of the things that are bothering her. You would look at this and think, well, what in the world does she want to change that for? And I would think the same thing. However, she just doesn't feel like it's cohesive. One of her issues is she's trying to create a sitting area for her kids to come in and talk with her and her husband at night. And it's just kind of awkward. It just doesn't feel comfortable. Right here at the end of the bed, you'll see that's where the majority of the space is. But what are you going to do? Put chairs here at the end of the bed and climb over them to get into bed, or climb over them to get to the bathroom? That's just not going to work. So what I'm going to do is come up with a different placement of furniture for Lynn. But I want to talk to you about a couple of things. I think her ceiling treatment here is really beautiful, and we can do something nice with that. I'm going to get rid of this traditional fan and do something cool there. And here's an issue. Now, I sometimes do things like this, where I do two different sizes of nightstands. And this kind of works because of the height is kind of close. It's a little shorter on this side. But what bothers me is, you know me, if you know my designs, I really like symmetry. And this looks really appropriate in size, but this looks so wimpy over here. It just kind of dies. She has the two same lamps, but look at the height. If you were to take a ruler and go straight across there, that one's higher on that side than it is on this side. So it doesn't really give us the symmetry we're looking for. So, and look at the size of this large mirror. I don't know if it's a frame. I would imagine it's a frame, not a mirror, but it looks kind of awkward on that space. So we're gonna change that up. Also, she says this arm lock can go. That's good. Now, she loves these three windows over here, gets a lot of natural light from them, and we are going to continue to play those up. But if you know me and you know my designs, you'll know that she's made a little bit of a mistake here with her window treatments in putting them on the windows. In this case, she was smart. She took them almost to the ceiling, but look how you can see that the window is in there. I'm going to widen these and make that look even larger. So clearly, Lynn has a beautiful room. It has a ton of potential, and I can't wait to show you what I came up with. All right, Lynn, are you ready? Let's go. All right, Lynn, well, welcome to your new bedroom. As you can see in here, I got rid of that small table and I put in a new nightstand that matched the one on the left. So you may need to get two new nightstands. I also recommend maybe larger lamps, although new nightstands might make your lamps look better. You'll also see here that I selected a color scheme and I stayed with the bedding that you have in the gray and white, which I think is really lovely. And I added to that green as my color of choice for something kind of fresh and renewable. Also over here you see that the green leaves on this with the water brings that gray back in again. So the walls, I chose a grayed color. It has a slight bit of green to it. That's something you can make a decision on, but you'll also notice that the green color that I used is really pretty much plant green. So I love the fact that we've got these balanced, symmetrical palm trees on either side of your existing highboy. So this is a piece of furniture you already have. I added a painting, bringing in that watercolor, sort of a sea feeling. And then over here behind the doors, you'll notice I did three mirrors stacked on top of each other, which makes basically a nice tall, long piece of art, a vertical piece. You'll also notice that I actually painted your doors here. I kept the center of the paneling in the off-white color that you currently have, but I painted the gray color around the outsides. I thought that was kind of interesting and different. Obviously, I moved your bed in front of the windows. Now, a lot of people ask me about this. I have to tell you, I live in California, so in California, we don't think twice about putting a bed in front of a window. If you live in a colder part of the world, I actually don't know where you're from, but if you live in a colder part, that might not be appropriate for you if you don't have double paned windows or whatnot. But I'm just doing this based on the limited information that I have. You'll also notice that up here in the middle of the room, I replaced your ceiling fan with a bubble chandelier. Now, I think this is probably your biggest ticket item in this room. It's the best part of the room if you ask me. It's really what gives it the wow. And I would highly recommend that you find something in the way of a light fixture that's very drippy, long, dramatic, and hip. So one of your requests was that I create a sitting area for you so you could sit and talk with your kids. Over here you'll notice I have 2 chairs. Now, I know you have 2 chairs in your room. I would highly recommend that you get 2 matching chairs because it always looks better. And then as you can see here, I have a much larger table than what you have in your room currently. Behind the bed, our first impression is a wow because the bed is against that wall when you first walk in, but you'll see that I did window treatments much larger than what you have. Again, if you watch my videos, you know that I like to address walls, not windows. So basically, you'll see I have window treatments actually on the walls and barely even going over the window whatsoever. These are solid panels and these are sheer. I again do not know where you're from, so I don't know where to recommend that you buy these. If you were here in California, I'd say Bed Bath & Beyond, Pottery Barn, Restoration Hardware. Those are pretty much the places where you can get ready-made curtains if you know how to sew. In fact, I know how to sew, and that's what I would do if it was my house. I'd make those myself. These right here, these pieces of art are actually posters. It's one huge poster that I cut in half and framed in a nice dark frame. So you'll also know behind the bed, I included an oval mirror. Now you don't have to do that. If you attach it in a way that it's attached up above the shutters, I think you'll find that you can still open your shutters. They'll be fully usable, but it just gives you some sort of a focal point above your bed. Let me turn this off and scoot you around so you can see what I'm talking about right there. And then the last thing in this room is I would play up your ceiling right here. What I did was, instead of what I think you have right now is a white ceiling and maybe like an off-white wall, I played off the gray color all the way from the ceiling to the lid here, and then I did a crown molding before you hit the actual ceiling itself. And I believe, yeah, that's a creamy color. So if you can do this in an off-white on the ceiling, and if you are able to use crown molding, I would do that in off-white, and then this whole soffitted lid area I would do in the same color as the wall. It just makes your ceilings look higher. Watch this. If I take my paint color here and I paint these, whoop, it has to think. I paint these all white. Do you see how that just brought your ceiling down immediately? It makes your ceiling look lower. So since you have such a cool ceiling treatment there. Isn't that cool? In this program I can show you very quickly why I do the things I do. And then the last thing is I added a rug here in a geometric pattern, which I thought looked nice with the medallion print here. And it's not all the way under the bed. It's partially under the bed, partially around, just creates a little bit of a platform. And you'll also note here that I brought that tree green back in again as an accent pillow. Alrighty, Lynn, I hope you and your husband like the new design plans. I'd recommend you go on over to Facebook and download those pictures so you can get started on the plans for your room.
Thanks so much for joining us this week. I hope these ideas have been helpful for you and that you've been able to pick up some things that you can actually use in your home as well. I want to wish you guys a great week, and I look forward to seeing you again here next Monday when we reveal the next winner for Makeover Mondays, who could quite possibly be you. Watch this video where Grayson will show you how to measure your room, send us your photos, and get your information to us as soon as possible because it could be you.